So today I'm going to be unboxing and setting up the FeiyuTech AK4500 gimbal for the second time. They sent me this gimbal a couple weeks ago. I bought it and I was not happy at all. It acted crazier than any gimbal I've ever used, and I was getting this to try to upgrade from my Ronin-S. So I'm gonna unbox this one in front of you guys. They were adamant that they send me a new one and that there was something wrong with the first one. So we'll see if that's the case, and we're gonna open it together and see what happens. Let's get into it. I mean, right off the bat, maybe it's just the delivering service or whatever, but box is a little banged up. You hate to see that. I will say that this case is 1,000 times better than the Ronin case. Okay. And you hate to realize that you're gonna have to charge the batteries. All right, first things first, I'm gonna get these charging. These are a lot different than the Ronin. The Ronin, you just charge the battery grip. The problem with that is once your battery grip is dead, you're done unless you buy another one, and they're $100. With the FeiyuTech, you can at least just switch out the batteries and have more on deck charging in the background without having to buy a whole other grip. Okay, so if we go through this box here, we have some fun cables, hopefully to control your camera from your gimbal. That'd be great. And there's obviously your battery charger in there. And the gimbal comes what looks like in one big piece here, which is pretty cool that you can leave your whole gimbal together when you put it away. So there it is. Very excited. Again, right away, you notice the locking motors. This one obviously did not come locked, but the locking motors is just such a game changer. I'm just not used to that with the Ronin, and traveling with it like that is honestly a joke. I hate doing it so much. Okay, so here we have our plate. There's no screw in it when you get it, so you gotta kind of dig in here and find it. We have our extra arm, we're not gonna need that. We have some other things in here we're not gonna need for now. We just wanna get this thing up and see if it balances. Okay, so it seems like this is everything we're gonna need in front of us to balance this camera on this gimbal. I have the A7 III here with my 24-70 Sigma Art. It is under 10 pounds, so it should balance on this gimbal just fine. And also here we have the FeiyuOn app. Hopefully this app helps us out with anything that we need, so we'll keep that handy. All right, first things first, we're gonna be putting our plates onto our camera. And one thing that's really nice about the FeiyuTech is it does have this quick release plate, which is a little bit of a game changer, to be honest. So we have our plate mounted as far back as we can on the camera. We have it as tight as we can also without breaking it. One thing that is a little bit of a bummer is that I can't use my lens support because it lands directly on my focus wheel. So not much I can do about that. And even if it did, the gap is too small there to do anything. So it's about game time to get it on this gimbal. So we are going to unlock each motor step by step and balance it. Okay, so first thing you want to do is slide your camera onto the gimbal, like so. And since we're using a zoom lens, you want to split the difference somewhere around, since we're on a 24-70, somewhere around 40 or so should do the trick. All the way back is just barely enough. Seems good. We'll lock it off. You also want to make sure that your camera is as close to the motor as possible. So go ahead and lock that off. Cool, so we're good there. We're gonna lock that. Our next motor is this guy. As you can see, we're very far off here. Let's see, it's falling forward, so we're going to loosen this guy, slide it back until the gimbal stays perfectly up and down. Easy. We're good, we're good. We're locking, we're locked. Next motor. We are falling very hard to the left, so we're gonna slide that over. Boom, we're dreaming. All right. This gimbal is actually very easy to balance. I've had a tough time in the past with a lot of gimbals. This one is easy to balance. So far, so good. Okay, this is the hardest one to balance. I don't even know how to explain it. Basically, you have your camera balanced up until this point and you want to pick it up, and it's so far off right now that it's even hard to let you know what to do. You want the camera to go down on its side and stay just like that and come back up. Right now I can tell that it's going to fall forward so bad. So let's go ahead and bring that back a nice big chunk. We'll start to lean it. Ooh, it is still falling so far forward. Look at that. Ooh, you just love to see it. It's just about as good as it gets right there. So if we go through all these one more time, we'll unlock everything. We are not falling forward. We are not falling forward or backward. We are not falling this way. And at this point, you should be able to put your gimbal in just about any position. You hate to see that. There it is. And it should stay. Okay, we are currently ready to power this thing on. Unfortunately, batteries are gonna be charging for about the next 3 hours. Didn't take that into consideration at all. So we're going to check back when those are ready and we'll pick this thing up from here. Okay, so we have our batteries in here. It is all powered up. It is obviously hours later now, but we're about to fire this thing up for the first time. We just rechecked all our motors and we are still feeling good. So let's fire this thing up, see what kind of results we get. Last time I fired this thing up, the camera went crazy. It was shaking all over the place. It even loosened up the screw to where my camera almost fell to the ground and I had to catch it. It wouldn't stop vibrating. I spent hours on YouTube trying to dial in the motor settings on this thing and I couldn't get it. Eventually I got it to stop shaking, but the camera movements were so choppy and there was this weird dead space. I hated the way it worked. So let's just hope that we had a faulty gimbal, we fire this thing up and we just have some better results. Here we go. Oh, we got a little shake right off the bat, but we're chilling. Zero vibrations whatsoever. Even after hours of dialing it in the first time, I could still feel vibrations in the handle. Look at that. It actually feels pretty good. I can see that the horizon is a little off. I read that online, that it was happening to some people, and they are able to fix it, so that's okay. I can fix that. The main thing for me is how the gimbal works. I need smooth shots. I need it to react with me. I don't want to fight it. I don't want any weird jerky motions. And I will say that right now, the way this is working is on par with my Ronin. This is a very random test, but I'm just trying to compare it with the first model that I got of the FeiyuTech, and it is infinitely better. I had lost faith, but I actually am liking this one. I'm gonna have to do some real test shots to see if it's working good, but so far, so good. The only thing is, the camera that I'm shooting on right now is the A7S III. That's what was on here. This is the A7 III. It's the same lens, similar bodies, similar weight. Hopefully that doesn't make a huge difference, but that is gonna be the test when I put this camera on here, but I won't be able to film that. The main reason I got this gimbal is for the gimbal ring that it comes with that integrates with the handle itself. There's so many things I like about the ring. I like that you can attach a monitor to it. I like you can attach a battery or a mic or anything you want to it. I like that you can grab a handle and put it straight to the ground. I'm so tired of the dual rig setup where I have to throw it in the air and grab it, spread the feet out, put it down, change my focal length, pick it back up. All that is nonsense. I'm trying to streamline this, and I just want to get an efficient gimbal setup going. So I'm gonna put that together now and we'll see if it still works. All right, we're gonna power this guy down. We're gonna lock our motors for some safety. Something I'm not used to being able to do, so I love that. And here we have the gimbal ring setup. I believe it's pretty self-explanatory. each one of these connections is actually digital. There's little prongs in here, so your gimbal is actually one with the ring. I like that. There are little rubber caps with each one of these, so we want to make sure we pop all those out too. This is the top. Here's our built-in feet. None of the $90 small rig feet. Ridiculousness. Your boy. The craziest part about this gimbal ring is that the final piece here is actually your handle. That's what makes it all work together. So cool. You just unscrew it here. Make sure you have a good grip on this thing. Line her up. Look at this. Just like that. I remember this one being a little tight on the first one too. All right, unlock our motors. God, I love that feature. I know everybody's got it now, but that is new to me and really sick. And we're gonna power this thing up. Okay, does a weird little jerk in the beginning, but other than that, we're dreaming. Oh, it is just night and day compared to the first one. Night and day. Dude, it is working. It's just not doing the crap it was doing the first time. It's just working like a normal gimbal. Your boy would get one random rogue dud in the mail and go to make a YouTube video crushing it, and then it comes out on top like working out dreaming. So happy. I'm way more happy that it works. Yes. Rather than having to put a garbage YouTube review on this gimbal out. All right, this thing is working awesome. I'm gonna get some test shots with it. I love this. It seems like a big ordeal, but it honestly is less real estate than my dual handle rig. They came out the same, but it makes your gimbal actually shorter to the ground. So now you can get lower shots if you want. When I put my handle on top, I'll be able to put it right down to the ground. No more messing around there. I love that. Something about the full circle just feels like your shots are sturdier. And I like having my hands next to the camera instead of them being lower or higher with bars. They always seem to be in a weird spot. But having your hands just right in line with the camera, I swear adds to the smoothness. We're gonna take this thing out and do some test shots. Before I do anything else, I need to put that camera on here. So I'm gonna do that. And that might be it for this. I'm happy with this thing. I'll throw some test shots up. We'll do some comparisons with the Ronin-S in this. And yeah, we'll take things from there. But here we go. Okay, so we just did some test shots on both gimbals, and I was very surprised to see that, in my opinion, the Ronin-S absolutely blew away the FeiyuTech. If you don't have a monitor set up, it's really hard to tell when you're out there looking at the screen on the camera. Everything really looks smooth, and I thought that they were going head to head. But after reviewing the footage here, I mean, it's up to you guys to see what you really like, but in my opinion, the Ronin was so much better. I know you can still see the footsteps in the Ronin here and there, but I feel like they were much more apparent in the FeiyuTech, and it had a much more jerky, unusable shot. You can especially see it in the running shots when I was trying to follow my brother skateboarding, but I can even tell in some of the very smooth panning shots where there were no footsteps at all. This wasn't necessarily a review of the AK4500. This was just me unboxing it and setting it up on camera in front of you so you can see my first-hand experience with it. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube praising this gimbal, and I really wanted to see for myself, but I for sure am going to be sticking with my Ronin-S. I am very happy that FeiyuTech wanted to make it right and send me a new gimbal, and this gimbal was much better than the first model they sent me, but it was still nowhere near the quality of my Ronin-S. So check out the footage for yourself, decide what's important for you in a gimbal. For me, that smooth shot is the most important thing. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful.